Morning, El Camino. This is Pastor Bruce. You are looking at a video of my barrel cactus in my front yard. A couple weeks ago, I noticed that there was a little bit of wetness around the outside of it, about a foot or so out. It was just kind of damp, and I thought, well, it was the irrigation line. Although I don't really have water to it in that way, I thought, well, maybe I've got an irrigation line. I got a lot of stuff out here. Irrigation line probably running across here and probably cracked, got a little water, no big deal. And that was a couple weeks ago, and I thought, well, I'll get to it. And I had a little bit of time here this past week, and so I started moving the rock around and dug around. I just noticed it kept getting more and more wet. And then as I thought, well, I better get a shovel. I can find this thing because I'm digging around, and I just kept getting more and more wet. And finally, I thought, where is this line? So I shoved my shovel down in. I was really going to start digging stuff up, and I got down, and when I shoved the shovel in, it went down about 2 feet. I thought, oh, this is not good. It was ground was completely soaked, and it had just finally worked its way up to the top. So I thought, and I'm looking at my property. I'm thinking, well, where is this? What does this go to? Now, if you can kind of see out in the distance, out by the sidewalk there, a couple of plates, and that's my main water line. And with as much water, I thought, that's got to be my main water line to my house. And sure enough, it runs from out at the curb all the way up here underneath my cactus and up to the house. And I called the plumber, and he came out, and we dug it up. I had to move the barrel cactus, had to get it out of the way, and we got down there, and he dug it up, and sure enough, my main line was broken. And as he found it, and we cut it out, and it's a copper line, and normally they run, when you get a house and they do the main line, it's a copper line, and it's a flexible copper line, soft, and you get a single run all the way from the main water all the way to your house. Well, for whatever reason, they ran out apparently on my house. And so halfway, right at this point where my barrel cactus is where they put another line, a second line in, and they spliced it. But instead of using a copper fitting, a copper coupling, and soldering it on, they used this, which is a plastic fitting, a plastic coupling. And it's really easy to do. You slip it on, it slides on both sides, and you screw down these fittings, and it tightens up and pulls things together, and it does work. It's okay. It's legal. You can do it. The problem is it's plastic, and it is going to crack. I mean, at some point it's going to crack. Now, you can't really see it, but there is a hairline crack on the fitting here, and that's what it does. It just sooner or later it cracks, and then you spray, and you don't really know you've got a problem until you've got a problem. And here's the thing: the plumber goes, well, it's legal. You can do it. You can use plastic, and you can use these plastic couplers, and you can put them onto copper, and you can do it. It's fast. It's cheap. Maybe you don't know how to solder or whatever it is, and so that's what you do. And it'll work. It'll work for a while. It's worked for quite a long time here. But the reality is, sooner or later, it's going to cost you. Now, we were fortunate, blessed. We caught it before it created a huge problem and took care of it. But it made me think of this verse, 1 Corinthians chapter 10. It says, all things are lawful for me, but not all things are profitable. In other words, you can do it, but it's going to cost you in the long run. There are a lot of things that we as followers of Christ can say, well, I can do this. It's no big deal. It's a shortcut, so to speak. It's legal. It's nothing wrong, technically speaking. But the truth is, it's not profitable. It's going to cost me in the long run. So let me encourage you. Do the hard work. Follow Christ. Do what lasts. Invest. Live your life. Invest in people. Do what you're supposed to be doing for long-term benefit. And don't waste your time on stuff that doesn't last, stuff that isn't going to end up being profitable for you. Stick with the long-term, profitable work of Christ. Whatever He's called you to, your family, your friends, your church, do the hard work. We'll see you soon, church. Bye.